All right. Good evening, or good morning, or good afternoon, everyone, wherever you are. Welcome to this special webinar with Dr. Julia Rizzo. And we are talking today about how to secure your Marie Skłodowska-Curie Action PhD Fellowship. I'm Dr. Luria Funu. I'm your host today. I'm the CEO and founder of Dare to Dream for Africa, a company that has been created to help researchers unleash their full potential. And this start by having money to do good research or having money to have access to high quality center to be the researcher that you want to become. We are very pleased to have Dr. Julia Rizzo today with us in our midst. She specializes in energy solution for medical implantable device, and she's postdoctoral researcher at INSERM in France, where she works on biomedical ultrasound to wirelessly charge medical implants. Julia was in an IT but her thesis in Paris between the French company Valotech and the laboratory C2N. She's also the chair of the Marie Curie Action France chapter. So she is the person who has all the information about this program that we call Marie Curie Action, and many, maybe even other things that we don't know. Like me, maybe I'm also Marie Curie fellow, postdoc fellow, but I think she's more informed than me because she's been Marie Curie since 6 years and she's chair maybe since 4 years, and she will tell us her stories and what she's been doing also as Marie Curie Fellow and now as chair of this France chapter. Thank you again, Julia, for coming with us and for coming accepting the invitation to share your story. You have the floor, Julia.
Thank you, Louis. Nice to meet you all. Good evening or good morning, good afternoon. So maybe I'll start with sharing my screen. Let's see if can you see my PowerPoint?
Yes.
Okay, perfect. So I'm Julia Ipsom. I'm a researcher specialized in rechargeable batteries for medical device. I am a postdoctoral researcher at INSERM at the Laboratory Physics for Medicine in Paris. And today, so I'll discuss with you about briefly about my story, and then deeper about my Curie doctoral project. So if you have any question, don't hesitate, stop me, and we can discuss more about details and about your question. So
Julia, you're muted. Something happened.
I don't know since the beginning. So I don't know if you
No, no, just
heard
now,
me.
just now, just now.
Okay, just
Just
now. Okay. So during the presentation, we'll start from briefly talking about my career. Then we will talk about the Marie Curie Alumni Association, France. And then we will talk about the Marie Curie doctoral programs. So I am Italian. So my career begins in Italy, in Torino. I study physics engineering at the Politecnico of Torino. And for my master, I studied nanotechnologies for ICT. During the master, I could participate to Erasmus Plus project, which is a European project for a master student. And with this project, I could spend one semester in Grenoble at Felmaiente, which is a city on the Alps, in France. So I spent a semester over there. It was a semester more focused on clean room fabrication. And it was very interesting because it was my first experience abroad, the first time that I started to learn French, and the first time that I live on my own. So it was quite interesting. And after this semester, I moved again, and I moved to US. I did my final project at the Houston Methodist Hospital, drug delivery MEMS, which is a small device to remotely control the drug delivery. And the device was for a biomedical, of course, application and to put on the skin of the patient. So I really enjoy this experience and to notice also the difference between American lifestyle and a European one. So it was quite interesting. I was supposed to stay one semester. At the end, I stayed for 1 year because I really liked. And then it was the time to come back to Europe. Um, at that moment, I started my doctoral project. So I found this project, my QE project in France and in electronic engineering. The project was sponsored by Valotech, which is a French company, and the Centre de Nanosciences et de Nanotechnologie, which is a CNRS laboratory, a public laboratory still in Paris. So my PhD was quite particular because it was between an industrial environment, biotech, and an academic one, so citizen. It was very particular. I really like it. Thanks to the Mercury project, also I could spend several months abroad to the partner of the consortium of the project. So I spent two months in Oslo, the Oslo University Hospital, and 2 months at Vesco, which is a Germany company. So a German company. So it was very instructive experience because I could work with different teams in a multicultural environment. And also in Paris, I could work in two different, I would say, entities. I could work in an industrial one, so biotech, and an academic one. It was very interesting to see the difference between the two dynamics of the environment. After the PhD, and my PhD was focused on, of course, rechargeable batteries for medical devices. In this case, we wanted to recharge the batteries by induction, so by RF, and we had some problems of course, electromagnetic problems due to the induction phenomenon and heating. The same problems that we encounter in the kitchen, for example, if any of you has a induction cook. So to solve this problem, we try to develop a system using a piezoelectric magnetostrictive transducer to collect the energy and transform it in electric energy to recharge the battery for the device. We try this technology with different applications. For example, cardiac device as a pacemaker, or also neurostimulator, so to control the epilepsy. So it was quite wide, the application of these batteries. And then I stay at Valotech for the 2 years, where I work as a system engineer. And then after 5 years, I decided to change because I wanted to return more in research, in R&D sector, I would say. So I found a postdoctoral project at Physics for Medicine, still in Paris. And the goal of this project is the recharge of batteries for medical device. In this case, the application is just a cardiac device like defibrillator or pacemaker. And we try to use ultrasounds instead of electromagnetism. So it was an interesting parallel between the postdoctoral project compared to the doctoral one. And so the project is sponsored by Physics for Medicine, which is a public laboratory in Paris, and Vitruvens, which is a startup, French startup, very small. We are in four. The company is specialized in energy solution for different applications. At the same time, in parallel, I'm part of the Mercury Alumni Association France, Mercury Alumni Association, and I'm the chair, the responsible of the Mercury Alumni Association France. What is the Mercury Alumni Association? Mercury Alumni Association is a group of researchers who received the Marie Curie Fellowship during the PhD, postdoc, or people, European project manager. The association counts 20,000 members worldwide at the moment, and in France we are 350 members. The association is a voluntary association founded in 2012 and supported by European Commission. The mission of the association are mostly three: networking between researchers. In this way, I could meet Luria. Career development, so help researchers to develop their career during the PhD, but also after during the postdoc, etc. And third, science policy. So to be an interface between the researcher and the European Commission in order to discuss the problem the researcher encountered during their career and try to use their competencies for the European Commission. So I'm of the France chapter, which means that I am the interface between the researchers based in France and the Marie Curie unit. So if, I don't know, researchers have some problems in concerning the fellowship, the visa, problems with the, I don't know, apartment, etc., they could contact me because I am the reference point in France. Furthermore, we try to organize different activities for the group concerning career development, about my Curie postdoctoral fellowship, so to explain how to write a grant to receive a postdoctoral fellowship, or for example about sustainability. We did a laboratory about sustainability. We did an activity about art. We visited the Centre Pompidou, a museum in Paris. We did sport events, Odyssey Run, or for example, now we are organizing an activity between a researcher and school, which brings the researcher to have some courses or lesson to students, teenager, I would say. Yeah, we had the a lesson with teenagers last week. It was very interesting. So the application and the involvement of the Curie Association are different and several. So it's challenging and very interesting. Yeah. So now we can talk about the Marie Sklodowska-Curie Action Program, which is the focus of this presentation. So the Marie Curie programs are the founding programs sponsored by the European Union, and the aim is this program are the doctoral and postdoctoral education, and postdoctoral training. The goals is the final goal are promotion of the excellence in research and innovation for Europe, but also for worldwide, and equip researchers at all stages. So train them to new skills, knowledge, competencies, and also promote mobility across borders. The European Research Agency manages the kind of project, and the Marie Curie action programs is part of the Horizon Europe, which is a program started in 2021 and it will finish in 2027. And this is the budget, 6.6 million of euros. So the budget is quite big. The Marie Curie project are mainly 5 doctoral networks. So we will talk more about this today. Staff exchange, which is a project which sponsored the of researcher but employees, I would say. Postdoctoral fellowship, which is I would say micro grant dedicated to postdoctoral researcher. So the researcher can receive this grant for 2 years or 3 years, and the researcher is able to manage this money without passing by his or her supervisor, which is quite particular, I would say. For European Researchers' Night, so at the end of September, the Mercury program scheduled a day when researchers in different cities of world, I would say, mainly in Europe, can create activities, I would say children, but also adults, a large audience. The main objective of this activity of this event is to link researchers and audience, so dissemination of science in different aspects. So, for example, with the France chapter, with the France group, we organized in September an event in Toulouse at the hospital. So we organized some activity with them. It was very funny. Yeah, I think everybody loved it. So I could repropose it. And the last one is Co-Found, which is a mixed, I would say, a mix between doctoral networks and staff exchange. Actually, it's a program dedicated to doctor, PhD students, and postdoc, but with a smaller budget than the doctoral networks and postdoctoral fellowship. So there is a different involvement of the partners. By the way, this is the reference to see all this program. I think it's well done. This web is quite clear. So I suggest you to click in or like see and you get the details, the deadline, etc. Now it's better to focus our attention about the doctoral networks. So the objective of the doctoral network
Hello, Julia.
is
Hello. 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 Hello, Julia.
yes.
Your
I can hear. Yeah.
I'm sorry, your network is a bit. Have you changed the slide?
I am at the slide doctoral networks.
We are not we this 5 main program. We are still in the 5 main programs.
Okay. Okay. Now.
Okay. Yeah.
Good.
Yes, it's good. Thank you.
Okay. Perfect. The doctoral network, the main objective is to implement doctoral programs, creating a partnership with different organizations and different partners across the Europe. It means that the doctoral networks is a network between different entities that could be academy, university, companies, and the objective is create a link between all these entities and create a link also between people hired in these entities to these doctoral networks. Second objective, train the doctoral candidates with high skill or the future, the competencies needed for the future and boost their employability in the long term. The budget for this doctoral network is this one, 600 million, and these are the deadline. I mean, I don't know if tonight there are people who wants to apply for a PhD, or there are supervisor who wants to write a grant. These are the deadline for supervisor, because the doctoral network works from 2 points of view. The supervisor can contact other, they send the grant to the Mercury Commission. Once the Commission decided to the grant, the successful grant, the supervisor, the entity, the institution receive this money, and with they can hire doctoral fellow. So these are the deadlines dedicated to supervisor. From the point of view of PhD fellow, which is, I think, the most common case today for electoral networks sponsored by MyCurie Action. First of all, you can improve your technical skill, soft skill, and also increase your project management capacities. These are common in, I would say, in all the PhD programs, but for MyCurie program, you can receive an excellent trainings because you don't you interface with multicultural and interdisciplinary project. So this is the plus of this project, of this program. Second, collaborate with other fellows during the PhD. For example, in my case, when I did my PhD, we were in 16 fellows during the same time. We work on the same topic in different parts of Europe, of course, with different girls, because I collaborate with medical doctor, with bioengineer, electrical engineer. This because I could work on from different perspectives, so we could help each other. I've never felt alone, which is that could in research. In our case, we always like to be a team, which is I think it was I think it was one of the aspects that I so they are the two aspects. And also with the doctoral networks, you can try both doing the same your same project, because with the doctoral networks you can have secondment. What are these secondment? There are moments during your PhD when you are a visiting researcher to other lab or to other company, and this is already scheduled in your program. So as student, you don't need to planify. It's already supervisor who planify for you. So it's easier and it's very instructive, I would say. Yeah. Fourth point, the contract is 3 years. So it depends on the countries, but sometimes the PhD could last more. For my MyCurie Action project, the PhD is last 3 years. After that, of course, you achieve a doctoral degree. It's a good experience because it's an experience abroad, and because for doctoral networks, when you apply for a fellowship, you cannot apply in a country where you have lived in the last 3 years for more than 12 months. If you are, for example, in my case, I'm Italian, I could not apply for Italy, for position in Italy. This is because the MyCurie networks want to improve the mobility of a researcher. So researcher cannot apply in their own country. The salary is very competitive. It's quite high compared to other PhD fellowship. And in the salary, you can also add a family allowance if you need. If you are married, if you have children, it's something that are taken into account in the project and in the budget of the project. And also, last but not least, you can join the MyCurie Alumni Association. So you have several benefits like micro grants to attend conference, participate to activity, to networking with the other researcher. So it's quite good. In my case, my project was called WIBEC, Wireless in Body Environment. So it was a project based on energy transmission and communication for medical device. These are all the partners involved in the project. So there was Oslo University Hospital, an hospital in Spain, two the university in Germany, a university in Norway, a university in Spain, in two company in France, and one company in Germany. So the data network was very diverse, heterogeneous in terms of institution, because we had university, industry, but also hospital. So this is the I think it's a very positive aspect of the doctoral networks, because you can you are in a consortium, with the multidisciplinary partners, and you can test, you can see on your own skin how is working in other environment. And I think at the end of the PhD, I think it's a plus value for your career, because you'll already test different environments and different working dynamics. And so how to find a PhD position? First suggestion, if you have a clear idea of where you want to go, I suggest you to look directly on the university site website or industry website. There are in the open position maybe position for PhD thesis. So try in this way on LinkedIn. And third, I think it was this was the way that I used to find my my doctoral fellowship, but also postdoctoral fellowship. It's through Access website. What is Access website? It's a website, as you can see, with sponsored by European Commission, with different goals. In our case, our goals is to find a job on opportunity in Europe. This is the interface of the website, and this is the link. So I suggest you to click or to save this link. So once you click on the link, you can see this interface, and on the left side, you have some filter. You can choose the country where you want to, I don't know, find a PhD position, or I don't know, a thesis, a postdoctoral thesis, fellowship, or I don't know, the country. And then there are several other options. Funding program. So in this case, you have to select Horizon Europe, because the Mercury Action Program are part of Horizon Europe. Then, as position, it depends on you. If you are looking for a PhD thesis, select the PhD position, and then there are the part of sector. For example, university, company, public institution, etc. So you can select this, and you can receive, or I would say, you can see on the screen all the position available in that moment, and there are plenty of position in this moment. So this is how I found the fellowship, and my suggestion is try to look for your next job or position on this website. But yes, it's in general used to find a position in Europe. There are also other countries extra Europe, but it's mainly for position based in Europe. I think it's all. I don't know if you have any question. Feel free to share, and I'm here to answer.
Thank you, Julia. Thank you for your presentation, for navigating us from Italia to Grenoble, Paris, and then to USA, and then back in France. I love your trip, and you can see that
Yeah,
you had
I moved a lot.
experience. I have one question. You say
Okay.
competitive salary. What is the competitive
Yes.
salary for a PhD MSCA?
Good question. Actually, PhD students usually has a basic salary. The European salary connected to the Mercury doctoral networks are quite high, and I would say in average, but generally are higher than the common PhD salary. So that's why they call it competitive, because it's way higher than the other salary, the common salary, yeah. And actually, they use a coefficient to modify the salary in order to be competitive. And it depends on the country where you apply. But yeah, it's way higher than the common salary of a PhD fellow.
Do you have figures from normal salaries and then figures for MSCA, PhD?
So I don't have a comparative about this, but I can find it in
Mm,
some presentation. Yeah.
okay.
And also
Mm,
I think also a good plus is the family allowance, because in the fellowship you can also add a family allowance if you are married and if you have children. And
yeah.
this is something that is not I think in common PhD program is not taken into account. I don't know, but for sure, if for my QE action program, yes, in doctoral networks, but also in postdoc. I
Yeah.
think you know also from your fellowship there is
Yeah. So the floor is open for those who would like to ask question, or you can also pass them in the chat, or you can take the mic. But what people are thinking, I have another question. You just show us how you managed to have 10 partners for your doctoral program and how you've traveled again during this
Mhm.
doctoral program, and a lot of expertise. But while working on the application, I believe you were the PhD fellow submitting the application, right? Was it the supervisor doing it for you, or you were the one?
Yeah, exactly. No, actually, uh, yeah, it's the supervisor who write the grant to receive the money for doctoral networks, and then they open position for PhD students. So as PhD, you can apply for the position through the Eraxis website, and then you have to pass the interview,
Yes.
but you don't need to write a grant.
Okay, so you took the
It's
shortcut.
a little bit easier than the
Yeah,
postdoctoral fellowship.
that's a shortcut. He said, so that's a good thing to know because people can decide to go on their own and really face the struggle because it's really, really difficult to write this grant. But when it's just job opening, you just go and then look for doing the best in the interview and try your best to have the job.
I would say that the most difficult part is the competition during the interview and the selection.
Yeah,
Instead of the postdoctoral fellowship, the most difficult part is writing the project
yeah.
to be accepted.
Yeah, that's true because now for the postdoc, we are writing the grant that is
Hmm.
already competitive and really demanding. And at the end of the day, you're not
Yeah,
even sure if you are going to be selected because you are competing
yeah,
now with 10,000 people across the world for this same amount of money and same place. But still good
it's very
to
competitive.
know that. So that's a good thing to know.
Yeah.
Do you have any
And
question?
also, for example, in terms of salary, for example, also postdoctoral, it's the same. The salary with the MyQE fellowship is way higher than a common postdoc.
That's so.
So
I want to know. That's so. Do you have any question in the floor? I think you have all right to speak, and you can post in the chat if you feel uncomfortable to speak.
yeah,
And
I can maybe share also the link
yeah,
in the chat. So maybe you can see at the same time in parallel.
so you
Cannot send the message. I don't know why.
cannot see the hand raised. We don't see the question. Do you have no question, people? Okay, let me have one other question to you again, Julia. Like, what
Uh,
advice would you give to someone who is just starting then the application and would like to have the Marie Curie doctoral or postdoctoral fellow?
what do you mean?
Advice, like if you want to give advice to those in the floor now, what is going to be the main advice you would like to give to these people?
If they have already started the program.
They want
Uh,
to embark on the
ah,
journey, but they don't know how to do that.
so in a practical way, I would say look on the website and try to see the best option for them and apply. Don't be afraid, just try it because yeah, if you don't try, you cannot succeed. And sometimes it's okay, you can succeed, sometimes not. It happens to everyone, but yeah, try to apply because it's worth. Yeah, it's a project that works, and it's a life in the life. You can open a different and several possibility after a PhD with Mercury. I mean, to enter in the Mercury community means to have big possibilities in your career development. So yeah,
Okay.
try.
Thank you, Julia. Just try. If you don't try, you don't succeed. Thank you. We have Thibaut. You raise your hand.
Yeah.
Yes, thank you, Luria, and thank you, Gulia, for your presentation. I just wanted to know if there is any opportunity for someone who is already a PhD student in the Marie Curie network, like if there is any opportunity or for someone who want to maybe join the Marie Curie community, how is it possible?
The Mercury Alumni Association.
Yeah.
Yeah. The inscription is free. You just need to go to the website and do the inscription. And to do the inscription, you need to insert the name of your project and I think a reference number or yeah. But in any case, you can do the inscription, and once the board will have checked that you are a fellow of this project, you are inside the of the association, and so you can follow, be a member of the different group. So we have group on the base of the country where we are living. So there is I don't know, the group of France, Spain, Italy, but also I don't know, Argentina, Japan, etc. It's worldwide, the association. But also there are thematical group. So for example, the group of science communication who write a paper about science, of course. For example, the policy working group, which is more involved in science policy or career development, research management. So, which is a group more involved in grant writing and also in the formation, in all the training for European project manager. So yeah, the inscription is free to the association, and you just need to insert some data about your project, European project, and then they have to accept you, and everything is free.
Thank you very much.
And the link, I mean, the website and MSCA, Marie Curie Alumni Association.
Thank you, Julia. We have a question from Alain in the chat. What academic achievement can increase your chance to win MSCA doctoral fellowship? Hello, can you hear me? Hello, I think we'll. Hello, can anyone hear me?
Yeah, Luria, I can hear you.
Okay, we lost Julia for a few seconds. Hello, Julia.
Yeah, can you hear me?
Yeah, we can hear you now.
So, yeah, I was saying that actually, for example, if I don't know if you did any extra activities during the courses, if you did trainings or, for example, in my case, I was in charge of supervised laboratory, physics laboratory during my master with the younger students. So I think this was a good aspect that I use in my interview, or for example, if you had the possibility to do some experience abroad in a different country, it could be a good a good plus to succeed in the interview. I would say something that makes you special, so not so common compared to the other master students.
Thank you, Julia. Is it okay for you, Alain? She mentioned
Yeah,
extracurricular activities, other training that she did, and she believed that these are some stuff that make her feel or been seen differently than others researchers.
thank you.
Pleasure. We are taking again two last questions. There is something in the chat I can't understand. The question from Shimeo Shili. I don't know if you
Okay.
would like to open the mic and explain your question about offering course on education. I'm not sure if it's still about this topic today, or maybe you want to reframe your question.
Are you offering courses on education as me? I did education and psychology, and what are the requirements for me to qualify this question? If he did educational psychology and he wants to do a PhD in psychology, it's a good way to succeed in his interview. The requirements is having a master degree, and it depends on the country where he had lived in the last 3 years. So, for example, if you live in a country, you cannot apply for a fellowship in the same country. So these are the two main requirements. For the rest, it's just a plus. It's something that you can use in your interview to be selected compared to other candidates, but it's not a requirement. And there is a question about what are the main fields of study covered by my QE program. There are different fields from literature, psychology, biology, engineering, medicine. There are several.
Yes, I think it's even all domains. I've not seen some limitation. I've not seen some restriction on this MSCA.
Exactly. I cannot write in the chat. Maybe you can also post the website or access so they can also see the fields.
Okay.
So if you are from Namibia, you cannot apply for a fellowship in Namibia. That's a requirement. And to apply for a PhD, you have to prove to have achieved a master degree, a master diploma before the beginning of your PhD fellowship.
Do you mean that they cannot apply from Namibia, or they can apply?
They can. No, it can't or it cannot.
For a doctoral program. Also, doctoral are only for European and not from everyone who want like a postdoctoral fellow.
Also, postdoctoral, you cannot apply for a place where you have lived.
Postdoctoral is for everyone. It's worldwide. There are some that are worldwide. I don't know. Maybe it's co-fund that is mixed.
But also, it depends on the institution. No? There are some doctoral networks with the institution outside Europe. So can be also Namibia, but if a person is from Namibia, cannot apply for a position there.
Okay. I don't see any further question. We share some document from Horizon Europe and the website of Eurassex in the chat. Universities and institutions that have usually open call for PhD students, and inside there you will see the requirement for each institution and see if there's anyone open from your country and taking your background into consideration, because you still have some work to do. She told you how she did her own. She went to did a research online, and she had some previous experience that she did on the master that allow her to be irresistible to the employer or maybe the supervisor who then decided to hire her for the doctoral program. And then that's how she got her Marie Curie doctoral fellowship, and it was fully funded. She has it for 3 years, I think, because you were able to travel across 10 institutions. Yes, you have a secondment that you did and for your PhD also. And she got it, and then she had an opportunity to stay in the institution in Paris. She's still in Paris. She's from Italy, actually. So that's, she's still in Paris. So she fell in love of Paris. She couldn't go back.
Yes.
So she should go back to Torino, but she doesn't want. She just wants to stay in Paris, and in Paris, not just France. But anyway, so Julia share with us how you could also take opportunity and leverage this program because it open you some doors that are not seen when you're outside it, and also in terms of the way or the benefit when doing your research are superior to what you have in other kind of doctoral program like Humboldt or any other PhD program that are existing here where they're paying 1,000 euro like that. It has to be a bit higher than all this program because even in postdoc, it is really higher than all the existing normal rate of position. So thank you, Julia, for your time. I hope people are listening me. Thank you for your time. Thank you everyone for joining. Thank you for asking question. Thank you for supporting the To Africa stories. Hello, Julia, are you still here? Hello? Oh, yeah, I can see some emoji. Thank you, Nelly, for showing hands. Thank you, everyone, again. Thank you for your time again. I hope you have been informed by something that you found value and that you have motivation to go again and look for other opportunities and have further support to reach your potential and to reach your goal. Thank you, Julia, again, and take care, everyone. Take care. Bye-bye.
Okay, bye bye. Thank you.
Thank you. Bye bye.
Good night.
Thank you.